So thankful for this today. Let's go ahead and close our eyes and we'll just drop into breathing. Let's just take 10 breaths and see what comes up. One more breath. Bring your hands together, honoring yourself showing up today. Let's just let that go and we'll start some cat-cows. Cat-cows. And we'll just be inhaling to draw the heart forward, exhaling to draw the navel in and draw the spine back and forth with your breath. So roll your shoulders a bit, just get into there and see what's going on. Maybe one side feels different than the other. Maybe one side's a little tighter. I like to do a swimming motion with my shoulders often so that it feels less like I'm holding on my neck if I do one at a time. It's so cute when my cat thinks that I'm doing this for him. Like he thinks I'm sitting on the ground for him. You're cute. Take the arms and reach them up and bring them down into the heart. Exhale it down. Inhale back up, rotate them out and bring the fingers all the way down, fingertips down to the ground. A very strong line through the fingers and the shoulders. So I'm really grounding here. And take your shoulders and just easy roll them back without really pulling your heart forward so the ribs stay in place, and draw your chin down. I'm just breathing into the back of the neck. The shoulders are anchoring. And take your head a little side to side. Keep sensation of stretch in the shallow end. So you're just kind of wading in peaceful water, breathing, relaxing into the neck. And it feels like you're pulling, just ease that tension, soften the amount. Great. Release the chin back up to neutral. Take the arms across the body and give yourself a hug. Shoulder blades down. So I'm holding on to my shoulder blades and letting them just ease away from each other. Maybe you can get a sense of stretch between the shoulder blades. Maybe a sense of stretch up through the shoulder blade up towards the neck. Take the arms and lift them up to the sky. Interlace the fingers and press the hands up. Take another breath like this. And easy let go, forward fold. Bring your hands back up. If you'd like to change your leg position, go for it. Take a few more cat-cow. And let's come upright and do some circle motion. So take it easy. It can be a small motion, or it could be bigger. Change direction. When I do this, I think about like a jump rope that is like vertical, and I could like take it and make it really tight and spin it like just this really tight jump rope, or I could make it like a big, like looser jump rope. That's like a big movement. I think in shape and a lot, in motion a lot. Good. Roll the shoulders down the back, reach your arms up, guide them down into the heart. Back up to the sky. And exhale them out and down. Anchor the fingers to the ground, anchor your shoulders back, and again, draw your chin down. So we're breathing to the back of the neck, ribs are in, navel is up, hips are relaxed, and you might move your head side to side just a little bit. Let that go back into your forward fold. Walk the hands back up, and let's go ahead and come into our tabletop to cat-cows. Continuing through your cat-cows. Take the hands forward a little bit, tuck the toes, lift up your hips to down dog. And we'll just spend a little time in down dog. I'm going to come out of it, but you stay in it. Like I said before, when we just started, I'm just not feeling super great today, so I'll probably come out of some things, but I'll talk you through. Take another breath in down dog. And slowly step your feet all the way forward. Halfway lift, lengthen out the spine, lengthen out the legs. Nice long stretch there. And exhale, bend into the knees, forward fold. Relax the back of the neck. Inhale to rise up. Take it slow. Little by little, we're lifting ourselves up from within. Awesome. Reach your arms up. Bring it into the heart and into mountain, arms at your sides. Rock forward and back on your feet. So I'm rocking towards my toes, and then I'm rocking towards my heels. So my toes lift up. As you're doing that, take it slowly. So I'm coming up towards my toes and then rolling back. Notice the point where your ankles want to roll out, and really take that mindfully. So we're keeping the weight balanced inside and outside instead of allowing the weight to drop out. The same thing happens in standing balancing, where we end up, if we lose control through the ankles and the feet, it's going to be outward, most likely. So we're just balancing and let that go. Take your arms up to the sky, upward salute. So it's like mountain pose, but the arms are up. Maybe the hands come together. They don't have to. They're towards each other. Spread out your fingers And let your eyes reach up towards your hands only so much that you feel safe and it doesn't make you dizzy or anything like that. So it's just this upward, maybe all the way. And exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, low belly draws in, front hip points rolling in towards each other. Like we're rolling in inside of ourselves. Here we go. Head towards the ground. Stay in your forward fold and breathe. You might need to step your feet out a little bit. You might like to sway. Come to your half lift and step back into plank pose. Hold your plank, knees up or down. Strong legs regardless. So if you have your knees down, take your legs together and squeeze them in. I like to do that with my feet up so that I'm recognizing that I'm very strong still through the glutes, through the low belly. Tuck your toes under and draw your hips back. So we're giving a little stretch through the back, the low back, through the shoulders, through the toes. Draw your weight forward, back to your knee plank here. Come to knee plank. Hips back, stretch out. And forward. Come all the way down to your tummy, hug your elbows to your sides. Start some cobra pose. Inhaling into cobra, exhaling to let that go. I'm gonna watch, see what I can see, and you keep doing that with your inhales and exhales. Awesome. Awesome. Anchor your toes, keep going. Little breaths, just building up the warmth in the back muscles, warming up all of those muscles for your spine, the core strength, from the toes pressing down, pinky toes to the ground, elbows hugging back, the strength of the low back lifts up the heart. One more time, pause at the top. Exhale, let that go. Come to your down dog. Three-leg dog, take your right leg and stretch it up. If you like to move it around a little bit, kind of take it straight up first, open it out. Take your foot, step it forward and rise into crescent lunge. All right, crescent lunge. My AC is making weird noise. Can't handle that. Bring your hands down. Step back into plank pose. And bring your knees down, squeeze your legs together, point your toes up. Take a breath, knee plank. Tuck the toes under and draw your hips back. So I'm in my core, I'm doing like a cat pose. I'm stretching open my spine by drawing my front body in. Roll forward and lower down. Take one long inhale to cobra and a long exhale to lower down. Push to down dog. Left leg up, three-leg dog. Again on this side, just feel it out. You don't need huge movements. Feel into your body. How's it going? Take your foot, step it forward, rise into crescent. Knee is over the heel already. Awesome work. Bring your hands down and take your back foot forward. So we're stepping forward. Halfway lift, forward fold. Bend your knees. Slowly rise all the way up. Upward salute with the arms up, the eyes lifting. Bring it into the heart, stand into mountain. Mountain pose. Awesome, reach your arms up, inhale, big reach, forward fold, let it go. Stay in your forward fold and breathe. Awesome, halfway lift, lengthen out, and exhale to step into plank pose. Come through chaturanga. If you feel warmed up and you want to take it from a full plank, chaturanga, the elbows to the sides, untuck the feet, upward facing dog. Upward facing dog has hands on the ground, feet on the ground, nothing else is on the ground. Exhale to down dog. Always something you can try, and you can always bring your knees down if it doesn't feel supported. If your shoulders don't feel supported by your core at that moment, totally okay. Inhale your right leg all the way up. If you want to stretch it open. Step your foot forward and rise back up into crescent. Exhale the hands down, step back into plank pose. Travel through chaturanga, up dog or cobra, and up into down dog. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale to step your foot forward and rise up. Lifting ourselves from within. Really awesome. Exhale the hands down. Step back into plank. Before you come through chaturanga, just take a breath and come down. Up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog. Step both feet forward. Halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale to come all the way up. Exhale the hands into your heart, into the sides for mountain. So with space hip width between your feet, which is generally 1 fist or 1.5, we're thinking hip joint space, not hip outside. That would be quite wide. Slowly, you can have the hands together at the heart, pressing them gently together, or hands at the hips, at the waist. I would recommend those more than in the air right now. We're just going to come into chair like in slow motion. Slow motion. You can stop anywhere along the way. Just slow motion, lowering down. Keep your front body lifting upwards and the back body drawing downwards. Awesome. When you get to your stop point, take the arms up. Keep your low back open. Keep it from crunching. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, slowly come back in. You can keep your arms up if you like. Slowly lowering. Inhale, back up. The quads love that. Exhale, one more time, down. Take it slow. As you're coming down, take the weight back towards your heels so your toes can lift up a little bit. Breathe. And come up. Ooh. Exhale to forward fold. That's tough stuff. Come to your half lift. Exhale to take your left foot and step it all the way back. We're going to bring the knee down. Use your fingers or blocks under the shoulders and draw the heart forward. Engage the glutes. Open collarbones. Shoulder blades drawing together down the back. Lengthen out your front leg. Draw your hips back and point the toes up. Bend into your front knee. Walk your front foot out a little bit, heel toe, heel toe. The angle is the knee and the toes always in the same line. And bend your back knee. It could be very useful to have a pillow under your knee. Reach back towards your foot. If it's available to touch it, great. If it's not, also great. You can reach back. We're in a twist here. My heart is twisting towards my front knee, opening. Exhale to come out from here. Walk your foot back in. Go ahead and lengthen that front leg back out, draw the hips back. Bring your weight forward and step back into plank pose. Bring the knees down and bring the legs very close together. And we're just going to roll the feet over to the side for a side plank with both shins drawing together on the ground. Take your top arm up. Check into your bottom shoulder. How are you, shoulder? You're great. Keep it strong. Keep the back of the shoulder blade where it meets the arm. Keep that area really engaged to stabilize and hold your body in place. Keep that where it is. And we're just going to very small movement, drawing the hips down and then lift the hips up. You can have your top hand at the hip if that helps you kind of feel into. I'm just dropping in a little bit and then lifting up. So it's as if my shoulder and my hip kind of squeeze in towards each other and that lifts up my side body. One more time. Awesome. Return into your plank pose, your knee plank. And let's just take the toes, tuck them under, and come into more of a kneeling position. So my toes, even my pinky toes are tucked, and I'm going to sit back on the heels. If sitting on your heels is not right for your knees, you could stay more upright. You could use a block or a cushion, like between your heels and your glutes. And while we're here, let's just take a little bit of wrist movement, just a little bit of kindness into that bottom wrist that was holding you. The legs might be shaky a little bit here. Your feet might be talking. Great, bring your hands forward, untuck your toes, pat them gently onto the mat. And bring your legs very tight together. Here we go, side plank to the other side with the shins down. Cultivating the rotator cuff muscles at the back of the shoulder will help keep your shoulder alignment in place and help alleviate stress on the tops of the shoulders throughout, everyday life. Now we're dropping into the hip a little bit and then lift it up. Just this really small movement, doesn't have to be much at all. But the lifting up is a bigger movement than the dropping down, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like, and then it just is a little ease down and like a thread is coming out of my top hip and it's lifting me up. Awesome. Return the hand to the ground. Come all the way down to your tummy. Bring your hands underneath your chin, bend the knees, and we'll just rock out the feet side to side. Give a little space, give a little time. Bring the knees out a little wide. And then we're gonna push back into kind of like a child's pose, but the knees are wide and we're not sinking all the way to child's pose. So it's more like a froggy. Knees are wide, feet are coming in towards each other, hands are forward. I'm just lengthening my hips back. Tuck the toes and come up to down dog. So I'm gonna have to step my feet in a little bit for that. Inhale the left leg up. Bend the knee, rotate your hip open, parallel through the arms, equal through the arms, not twisting open through the torso. The shoulders stay in alignment. It's just the knee opening the hip. Lengthen out your leg and step your foot all the way forward. So we're bringing it as far forward as we can. You might scooch it into place. And gentle, bring the back knee down. Fingertips to the ground. Draw your heart forward, engage your glutes. Shoulder blades down the back. Awesome, so here we go. Coming into this twist, walk your front foot out towards the outside of your mat. Bend the back knee. Turn your heart towards your front knee and reach out towards your foot. This kind of stretch can be very well supported by putting your foot onto a couch or a chair or the wall. Something soft is nice that you could kind of just rest your foot on. Especially if it's not available to touch your foot, it can be really nice just to have support there to hold your foot up. Try it sometime in your own free time. So exhale, release from your twist. Walk your front foot in a little bit more to align, and we're lengthening out the leg. Toes up. Stretch out. Bend back into your front knee. And let's step back into plank pose. Lift up your hips to down dog. Inhale the right leg up. All the way up, scorpion on this side if you like. Stabilize your shoulders. When you do this, usually so my right leg is up, my right shoulder is going to try to lift up too. This is where we level it out and let the twist occur in the hip, opening in the hip. Everything else remains. Lengthen out your leg, take your foot all the way forward. Take your back foot to warrior one. Rise on up. Ground into your back foot. So come to pyramid, but if you want to have options for your arms, a stabilizing thing to do would be have your arms walk them down the leg. It might be interesting to reach forward, take care of your front hip, make sure it's okay with that movement. Or you could do it with the arms behind you, interlacing the fingers. If you feel more stable like that, if it's okay. Bend your front knee, use that deep core strength to rise back up and step forward. Mountain pose. Easy breezy, take your right foot, turn it out and step it back into warrior one. Stepping back into poses is interesting and a good way to cultivate a sense of proprioception, where we are aware of our body in space. Gives us more trust in ourselves, trust in our body, stability. Lengthen out your leg. Here we come into our pyramid. All of the arm options as you like. It can be interesting to do it with the arms behind, although if that takes away from the ability to control and monitor your stretch in your front leg, you may want the hands to the ground instead. In this stretch, we're grounding into the toe, the big toe of the front foot, and letting the hip draw back and away from there. So it's this lengthening away from the big toe. Awesome. Bend your knee and we'll come up. Step forward into mountain. Let's do a little bit of a side stretch. So we can just start, we'll do it a couple of different ways. We'll start with the legs together here. Bring the big toes together. They call this a pie slice between your heels sometimes. So the big toes are together, so your heels are not quite together. Take the arms up. I think they say that in Bikram. Interlace the fingers. Pointer fingers together. Lift up. This is a Bikram move actually. Up. And the hands over to the left, hips over to the right. So we're just lifting more than dropping. We're lifting, lengthening. Other side, you can come up. You can release your arms if you want to take a break for your shoulders. You can shake anything out and do it again. Lift up. Exhale, hands over to one side, hips over to the other side. Remember length. Length is where we create bending in a way that's stable, sustainable. All right, let that go. Awesome. Great, great. We'll do it a different way in a moment. Let's step out wide first onto the mat. Parallel the outsides of the feet. Draw your hip creases back as you draw your heart forward. Just release into your forward fold here for a few breaths. The hands underneath the shoulders in your wide forward fold.
create a bit like a halfway lift sensation. So we're lengthening out the spine. And then round like cat pose. Cow pose. So it's a much less depth cat and cow. Take the shoulders and roll them around, roll them down the back, just kind of like letting the body do this free movement for the shoulder blades. Great. Bend your knees and rise up. Open out into your warrior two position towards the right. I just want to set it up and come into side angle. So warrior two helps to set up the alignment for your front knee over the heel, opening it towards the pinky toe. Side angle, we stretch out and breathe. Rotate the heart upwards, minimal weight in your bottom hand, in your bottom forearm. So I'm pressing into the leg, but I'm not dropping down into my arm. Reverse warrior, up and over. Triangle. Bend that front knee, come back up through warrior two. Take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers, lift up the heart. Proud warrior two, shoulder blades are drawing towards each other. That space, the back of the shoulder that connects to the arm, is very actively drawing your arm bones, rolling them back. Take it slow, draw your head to the inside of the front knee. Take care of your back knee, make sure it's fine, lift up the quads. And we're slowly rising back up. Release the arms, pivot your foot into your wide forward fold. And take a little stretch side to side. Come up and do it again. Other side, rise up. Pivoting the foot open to the left. Set up your warrior two position. Sometimes I use the back of my hand to the inside of my front knee and kind of like help it open and feel that the hip is rotating the knee forward and towards the pinky toe. Side angle. Soothing breath. Check that your eyebrows are soft. Check that you're breathing smoothly. The body can shake. It will make the breath shaky, but the work is to calm the breath and keep it smooth, which really calms the mind and helps you to be here. Reverse your warrior. Into triangle. Ooh, front leg is thankful for that one. In triangle, breathe. Here we go. Bend your front knee. I like to bring my hand to the back, kind of like side, body, and hip to just feel, just making sure it's okay. When we come up like that, We're lifting from the bottom side body and not pulling from the top so much. It's engaged, but the strength is coming from below. Take the hands behind you and release the fingers. Here we go. Proud and humble. Just like here, when we rise up, it's coming from the front body. Release the arms, pivot the foot into wide forward fold. A few breaths here, doing what feels good for you. What do you need in your wide forward fold? What feels good? Awesome. Rise up and heel toe the feet together. Shake out the legs. Dur, 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 dur. So we'll do that side stretch in just a slightly different way that helps to open up the side of the hip as well. So I'm just going to take my left foot and step it across the front of the other foot. It's angled at, like a side angle there. Arms up, you can interlace the fingers, steeple the pointers if you want, or just have the hands together. You could even hold on to your wrist and use that to help lift. Up and over. Either direction, we'll try both directions, so it's not super important. Just check in to the very low back. When you do that, there's like those bony points that kind of can get a little compressed feeling. I don't know if it feels like that to you. Try it with the other direction, hands moving away from the hip. And let that go. Take your other foot across. Both directions, here we go, up and over. So if you do this and it's mostly in your shoulder, try to keep your arm tucked into the shoulder a little bit more and breathe and open up the side body and into the waist and the hip. Try it on this side. Sometimes it helps to use your other hand to guide where you want to feel. Maybe exploring, if I bring my hand to my side and my waist, I can kind of almost direct the feeling of stretch there. I can find it easily. And let that go. Let it go. And we're coming to tree pose. Stand onto your leg. Notice if your foot rolls out, just like when we were rolling forward and back. Keeping it level inside and outside through the foot. The arch lifts up, but the big toe ball mound presses down. Open out your knee into tree. The foot could be toes on the ground, the heel pressing into the ankle. Awesome option. Foot under the knee or foot above the knee. There is a strong sense of inward pressure from your foot and your leg, bringing the strength into midline. So it tucks the tail under you and it lifts up your low belly. Open out the arms into your expression of tree, whatever that is. Exhale to come out. Other side. Opening to tree. If the torso, the pelvis turns to the knee. Turn your belly button and your heart forward. So the pelvis faces forward and that knee might come back in a little bit. It's totally fine. That way we're not twisting. Exhale to let that go. It's nice. All right, please step back to the front of your mat. Let's come back to forward fold. Step back into your tabletop. Bringing the knees down. Here we're gonna take the left foot towards the outside of the mat and your right foot out, turning the pelvis open. So it's like side angle. And the arm up. Take your top hand, palm facing the ground, up and overhead, rainbow from your back foot up through the side body and through the fingers. Exhale, rotate out and do that on the other side. In its own way, this is very similar to standing side stretch that we did. Especially when we take our top hand and rotate it overhead, stretching out. Exhale, let that go and come down into your child's pose. Child's pose could have the knees together, or they might open out as much as needed. Relax into child's pose. Breathe our way up to a seat. Coming up to your seat, we'll take the, I gotta do it, butterfly forward fold. It's like I can't come to a seat without doing this word, like I just can't do it. It must be. Come up, take the right leg out to the side, 45 degrees or so. This foot comes in, and here we lift up the heart, reach up the arms, turn the heart to the knee, and fold over your leg. We're gonna spend a little time here breathing. Relax your head, relax your neck, your jaw. The heart's coming towards the knee. The top of the head is towards the toe. Walk your hands up, side stretch up and over. Take care of your side body here. Keep it more in the shallow end of sensation again. The hand comes down the leg, other hand up and over. Reach both hands towards the foot. Press your hand into the leg and slide it back up the leg so that you have support to rise up. Change legs. Here we are, lift up, heart towards your knee, full. Soothing breath, full breath cycle. Walk the hands up the leg. Into the side stretch. Run your hands on the leg up and over. So I ask for caution and extra awareness of what you feel in your upper side body here, because it's one of those stretches that can feel really good, but can be over like a little overdone and can create some strain in the big back muscle. So we just want to be extra mindful. And that's why I advise to use your hand to press into the leg to lift you up, just so this side doesn't try to go and then get hurt. All right, thank you so much. Let's just come into a neutral seat for a moment and stretch your arm across the body. Notice what angle your shoulder's at. Is it hiked up to your ear? If it is, release that out, bring your shoulder down into place and do it from here. So this is my left arm that's stretching across my body. I'm going to bring it back to neutral, take it up, and bend the elbow. Use your other hand just to be supportive. Relax your knees and your hips and your jaw, your eye. All these little parts that try to activate to help. Thank you for trying. Let that go. Other side. So we want to take the shoulder and relax it down and then take it across the body. Back to neutral, take that arm up, bend the elbow so the hand is just pressing into the back. Release that. Take your arms across for eagle. Eagle arms, crossing at the elbows, crossing at the wrists, maybe. Pressing the hands together. So I'm making the thinnest line out of joining my arms together. Very little movement, draw your elbows down. Squeeze your arms together. And then very, very small, lift up your elbows. Just a little at a time. Stay here and round your back like a cat. So it's very small. I'm just drawing my front body in to stretch out through the upper back between the shoulder blades. Exhale, gentle release. Notice which arm is on top here. And we'll take both the other arm across. Eagle arms on this side. Elbows down. Squeeze your arms. Very small, elbows up. And this is stretching out those rotator cuff muscles a little bit. So we want to just be really kind and check into what's happening at the back of the shoulder. Round your back, and gentle let go. Great. Bring the legs forward and we'll come to lay down. Hug your knees, massage your back. Bring both feet down and lift up the hips to bridge pose. Knees are forward. Lift up your heels and roll all the way down. Take your left leg up, keep the sky. If you would like to use your hands, interlace them behind the leg and use that to support your leg lifting. Cross the ankle for figure four. So the ankle crosses over the other leg and hug it in. It's very useful. One hand comes through the four, the space, that triangle in your legs. And the other hand comes across the other side and hugs the leg in. You can extend your top leg up. You can keep it easy bend. Slowly come back out just like you went in. Bring your foot down and take this other leg back up. Give it a stretch. Move your ankle, move your toes. Change legs. Take a nice stretch up. Cross the ankle into figure four. Exhale, come out as you went in. Move your ankle and your toes. Come to happy baby. We'll take 6 breaths in happy baby. One more breath. Bring the feet down and we're going to come to twist. So shift your hips over to the right. Draw your knees up and shift them to the left. Tee out the arms. Be here and breathe. See what you could let go of. Even just for a moment. Rotate out and we'll twist the other way. So shift your hips to the left. Hug the knees and let them come over to the right. Shift out from here. Back to neutral, and we'll just let the knees draw one way and the other way, windshield wiping them across the body. At this point, I'll take a few breaths to do free movement, any stretch, any pose, anything at all. It doesn't have to be an organized pose or anything. It can just be like kind of rocking. It can be a pose, could be whatever. I'd like to invite you to come into Shavasana in a more stretched out way if it's available. To take the arms out into the sides, opening them out, or more overhead, like 5-pointed stars. So you could take the legs wide, you could take the arms wide. Just occupying a little more space. Room for you to be you, just as you are. This feels great. Stay and drift away. If you prefer Shavasana with the arms at the sides and the legs closer in,